Hello, MONBC family and friends. Wanted to give you a March/April update. We are still on schedule to return for in-person worship on April the 17th, Easter Sunday. Still on schedule. Want to make sure I stress that. We are still continuing to not only be very prayerful, but watchful as we have noticed that Dr. Fauci and other leaders have said that, well, you may need another booster shot if you're 50 years or older, or the subvariant that's going on in China right now is going to come to the United States soon. We're still being very watchful, but we're on schedule right now. And I'll give you another update closer to Easter Sunday to let you know for sure whether we're coming back to in-person worship. The other thing I want to stress is early voting for the North Carolina primary elections that happens in May. Early voting begins 1 month from today of this video, April the 28th. That's when early voting begins for North Carolina primary elections. Now, these primary elections are important because on the ballot are the United States Senate and House of Representative candidates, the North Carolina General Assembly, and the North Carolina Supreme Court and Court of Appeals. It is so very important that you exercise your right to vote. Why? Because if it wasn't that important, people wouldn't be trying to put obstacles in our way not to vote. Come on, let's tell the truth of the matter. So early voting, April the 28th to May 14th. Make sure you know that you are registered to vote, and make sure you have a plan. What day am I going to go and vote during the early primary election? Why are the primary elections so important, Pastor? Because the primary elections determine what's going to be on the general election ballot. So we want to make sure we exercise our right to vote in the primary elections so that we know and so they can decide and determine what's going to be on the general election. The other reason is if I don't practice on the primary election, I'm 9 times out of 10, and that's not a statistic that I found anywhere. I literally just gave you that. 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to go participate in the general election because I'm going to forget that it's an election year. So make sure you participate. Make sure you exercise your right to vote. Now, here at Mount Olive, we've got 7 different counties that our congregation is made up of: Edgecombe, Halifax, Johnston, Nash, Pitt, Wake, and Wilson counties. And all of those sites, for instance, Edgecombe County, just because you usually vote during the general election at one particular site, that site is not going to be available to you during the early voting period for the primary elections. For instance, in Edgecombe County, if you're in Tarboro, it will most likely be closer for you to go to the Edgecombe County Administrative Building Auditorium. And if you're here in Rocky Mount, it'll be closer for you to go to the Rocky Mount DSS, as long as you are registered to vote in Edgecombe County. Okay. Why is that important? Because make sure you tell your friends and your loved ones, well, that's not where I usually vote. I understand that. But during early voting, that site is not available. Go vote where they have that site available. Edgecombe County, again, is the administrative building in Tarboro, the Rocky Mount DSS on Fairview Road. Halifax County, you could go to the Ag Building in Halifax, to the Infield Fire Substation, the New Resource Building in Roanoke Rapids, or the Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church in Scotland Neck. If you're in Johnson County, there's 2 different sites you can go to, or excuse me, 4 different sites in 2 different cities. In Smithfield, you could go to the First Baptist Church on 4th Street, or the Elizabeth United Methodist Church. And if you're closer to Clayton, you could go to the Archer Lodge Community Building and the church at Clayton Crossing. If you are in Nash County, you can vote at the Nash County Agriculture Center or Board of Elections Auditorium in Nashville. In Rocky Mount, we vote at the Braswell Memorial Library. And if you're closer to Bailey, the Mount Pleasant Community Building. This is all during the early voting period. Okay. In Pitt County, there are 4 different places in Greenville: the Ag Center, the Community Schools Building, the County Office Building, and the ECU Student Center, and in Winterville at the Winterville Fire Station. In Wake County, of course, y'all got a whole lot of different places. Not only the Wake County Board of Elections office, but you can also go to Cary to the Community Center, Raleigh to the Chavis Community Center, or to the Optimist Community Center, or to the Woodland Center, the Thomas G. Crowder Woodland Center. In Cary, you can go to the Cary Senior Center or the Herbert C. Young Community Center. And in Fuquay Marina, the Hilltop Needmore Town Park and Preserve. Wake Forest, the Northern Regional Center. If you are in Wilson County, you could go to the Wilson County Board of Elections office right there on Douglas Street. Now, I'm going to send out another announcement about early voting and stressing it. I'm going to give some more specific dates and times as we get closer, but I want you to go ahead and get it in your mind now. Make you a plan. When am I going? And how am I going? Who am I taking with me? And who am I voting for? Not only are the U.S. Candidates and the North Carolina candidates, but there's some other city and county officials that are on the ballots as well. Make sure you find out that information. I want to stress that you exercise your right to vote. Okay? Y'all have a wonderful and a blessed day, and I look forward to sharing with you again soon.